Today, we're diving into a fascinating manuscript that uses the, let's face it, pretty controversial topic of polyamory to do something completely unexpected. It's not trying to sell you on a lifestyle. Instead, it uses it to unlock the fundamental operating system behind all of our relationships. We're talking romantic, professional, family, you name it. And right off the bat, here's the kicker. The author literally calls their own title intentionally misleading clickbait. I mean, you gotta love the honesty, right? It's a super bold way to say, hey, stick with me, because what we're really talking about is much deeper than the title suggests. Because, and this is the key, this guide really isn't a manual for non-monogamy. Think of it more like this. It's using the unique pressures and complexities of polyamory as a magnifying glass, a way to zoom in on the core mechanics that make any human relationship tick, or, fall apart. So yeah, the real goal here is to get past all the trendy labels and buzzwords. We're here to find the cheat codes for interpersonal dynamics, to really understand the foundational principles that make any connection between two people healthy and strong. To do that, the guide asks us to take on a kind of strange new perspective. I want you to imagine, just for a minute, that you're an alien scientist. You've just landed on Earth, and your mission is to study this weird species called humans. You're just observing our basic programming, our instincts, with zero judgment. And what would our alien scientists notice pretty quickly? Well, according to the guide, our basic human-animal nature is run by three core instincts. They call them the 3 Ts: tribal, transactional, and territorial. So let's break these down. First up is tribal. This is that deep, gut-level need we all have to belong to a group, an in-group. The guide points out that even our last names are basically tribal names. They connect us to our very first tribe, our family. We are just hardwired to stick with our own and be a little bit wary of outsiders. Next, we have transactional. Think about it. From the person who sells you your morning coffee to the coworker you collaborate on a project with, most of our interactions with people outside our immediate tribe are based on some kind of value exchange. And that's not a cynical or bad thing. It's just a functional, efficient way we operate as a society. And finally, the third T, territorial. Oh, this is a big one. It's that primal drive to control our environment, and, well, that often includes the people in our environment. In relationships, this is the instinct that bubbles up as possessiveness, that feeling that our partner is, in a way, an extension of us, of our territory. Okay, so with that human-animal framework, tribal, transactional, territorial, in our heads, let's apply it to one of the biggest relationship structures in our society, monogamy. And just a heads up, you might want to buckle up for this next part.
So let me just ask you a question. When you look at the entire animal kingdom, specifically our fellow mammals, what percentage do you think are naturally monogamous? Just take a guess. What number pops into your head?
The answer is pretty shocking, actually. Biologists estimate it's less than 5%. Less than 5%. Now, that single fact kind of forces us to step back and look at our own human behavior from a totally different angle, doesn't it? And this is because scientists make a really important distinction that most of us don't. There's social monogamy, that's two animals building a life, sharing a home, raising kids together. And then there's sexual monogamy, which is just about exclusive sexual partners. One is about partnership, the other is about sex. And in the animal world, they almost never go together. So, the guide puts forward this really bold idea that just like most mammals, our basic animal-level programming isn't actually built for sexual monogamy. In fact, for early humans living in small, vulnerable tribes, things like communal bonds and shared parenting were a critical survival strategy. And this brings us to the most important pivot in this whole discussion. We've been talking a lot about the instincts of the human animal, but now let's talk about what makes us a human being, our incredible capacity for conscious choice. See, the human animal is all about instinct. It's survival, it's competition, it's territoriality. It just reacts based on its programming. But the human being, well, we are capable of choice. We can choose to cooperate instead of compete. We can create relationships with real intention and purpose, going way beyond our default settings. And this is the whole point. This is the most powerful idea in the whole guide. We are not slaves to our programming. We have this amazing ability to look at our own instincts, think about them, and then consciously choose to act in a different way. We can actually design how we relate to each other. So you're probably wondering, okay, great, but how? How do we actually build relationships with intention? Well, the guide offers this incredibly powerful and practical tool called the 5 Rs. It's like a toolkit for bringing absolute clarity to any relationship.
And here they are. It's pretty straightforward. First, reasons. Why are we even doing this? What's the point? Then, roles. What are we to each other? Next, requirements. What does it take to be that role and to keep it? Then, responsibilities. What are you on the hook for and what am I on the hook for? And finally, rules. What are the hard lines, the absolute non-negotiables? It's literally a blueprint for clear communication.
And what's so cool about this is that it's universal. Seriously, this isn't just for romantic relationships. You can use the 5 Rs to clarify a business partnership, to get on the same page with a good friend, or even to navigate those really tricky family dynamics. It's all about creating clarity and mutual understanding, no matter the context. Okay, now for the final boss, the one emotion that can hijack pretty much any relationship: jealousy. The guide connects this feeling right back to that primal, territorial instinct we talked about at the beginning.
The manuscript has this brilliant way of explaining it. It says, at its core, jealousy feels like theft. It asks you to imagine the feeling you'd get watching a stranger drive away in your car. That hot, visceral feeling of violation, that's the same core emotion. It's a sense that your territory has been invaded and something that's yours is being taken. And this is the game-changing insight. The goal is not to somehow magically stop feeling a hardwired natural emotion. That's impossible. The real power comes from recognizing that feeling for what it is, a signal from your human animal brain, and then using your conscious human being mind to choose how you're going to think, speak, and act in response. So, the guide offers a new thought, a mantra to practice when that territorial feeling kicks in. Instead of thinking about ownership and control, you consciously shift your mindset to one of freedom and appreciation. You tell yourself, I recognize my partner is free, and so am I. It's such a simple reframe, but it changes everything.
Which brings us to our final question for you to think about. And this isn't just about a partner, it's about everyone in your life. Are you ready to start moving from a default mindset of ownership to a conscious mindset of appreciation? Are you ready to truly recognize that the people you love are free, and that so are you?